Welcome to the Empowered Wealth Podcast, where we're redefining what financial independence looks like for women. I'm your host, Donna Cates, and each week we'll dive into powerful stories, expert strategies, and practical tools to help you take charge of your financial future. Whether you're planning for retirement, navigating a divorce, or simply looking to build your wealth with confidence, this is your space to grow, learn, and thrive. Let's get started with today's podcast. Hello, everyone, and I'm really excited today to introduce you to Nanette Murphy. She is the owner of Live Life Now with Purpose Divorce Coaching. So thank you for joining us today, Nanette. I'm really excited to have a deep dive into your career journey.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start by asking you to just give us a brief introduction, maybe 90 seconds worth of what it is that you do and why you got into it.
Okay. Well, that's easy enough. I'm Nanette Murphy, a divorce and life reinvention coach. I coach women going through divorce, going through the gray divorce. Anyone who doesn't know what that is, you are over 50 and you're divorcing. You've been married for decades and you have to find a new beginning. You have to divorce, and I don't like to say start over. I like to say it's a new beginning. And I got into this kind of accidentally. It was COVID that sent me in this direction of learning and growing. And I went through it myself. And I didn't know divorce coaches existed. I did what everyone else does: is you hire an attorney and hope for the best. So that is my why. I want to help women go through this.
And I find it very interesting. It's like there are all the things out there in the world, but a lot of times we don't know what's available
Right.
until we find ourselves in the middle of needing it, right?
Exactly, exactly. But the thing is, Donna, is you don't know what you don't know. Society tells us, gosh, I'm getting a divorce. Everyone says, who's your attorney? And there's so much more to it than that, as you know, that it takes a team. It's like it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a team to successfully divorce. And I mean, quote unquote, successfully, but it's an emotional journey, I say, not just a legal battle.
Well, and I have to share this with you. This is very timely conversation. I actually did a live interview on local television this morning, and we
Oh,
were talking about the not knowing what you don't know and not knowing what to ask, and how the first thing that we always do is hire the attorney,
yeah.
where that might not necessarily always be the best course. Of course, we know we're going to have an attorney to divorce, but so we know better, and I think that's what you're doing now is coaching women through that process, right?
Exactly, Don. And I think I enjoy being on podcasts, and I'm spreading my message. I want people to know that there are so many other resources out there to help you. Yes, you're going to need an attorney. I wouldn't recommend not having an attorney, but there are steps to take that are equally as important before you even get to the attorney.
And let me ask, I think I noticed that you have actually authored a book. Can you take a quick minute and tell us about that?
Absolutely. I've authored a couple books, but my first and cornerstone of my coaching is Shattered Dreams and New Beginnings. And it is my journey of um, heartbreak, healing, and ultimately growth. And, um, you know, I always say, well, I think I've been divorced about 10 years. Good news is I don't keep track anymore, you know. And, other good news is you can laugh again and look back and go, well, that was quite a storm, but I survived it. But not only survived it, thriving it in a direction that I would have never anticipated. I don't know anybody who aspires to be a divorce coach as a child, you know. Um, but to me, divorce, I say, is like a club. You don't want to belong to it. But once you do, I really think it's part of our journey to help others get through it.
Oh, I love that. And I love the fact that you're actually willing to be vulnerable and put that information out, because it's not necessarily the most comfortable thing,
No,
but it's the reason we need it, because nobody talks about it until
right.
it happens to them, right?
Exactly. And there's embarrassment and there's shame and there's grief and there's, I mean, how many multitudes of emotions are there? And sometimes you feel it all in one day.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this question specifically about the industry and the work that you do.
Yeah.
What do you see as the biggest problem in the industry, and how are you solving it?
Well, again, in the industry, I think the biggest problem is the lack of awareness that coaches are important, that we exist, and that they go hand in hand with the attorney and this, the financial advisors. And that's what I'm trying to do to change that is just this being on podcasts, spreading my message, being in news articles. I'm actually going to start my own podcast this month. And that's really
Excellent.
why I'm doing it is because you don't know what you don't know unless you hear about it or read about it or someone tells you about it. So um, I'm trying to, scream it from the rooftops. I don't like to hear when people are divorcing because it's tragic. Um, but it's also a fact of life. And, we've got doctors, we've got attorneys, there's a niche for everyone. And this is just what I've chosen to do. And I started off as a life coach and a health
Okay.
coach. And then I discovered that divorce coaching existed. I'm like, this is what I need to be doing.
Especially since you've walked that path, because you're bringing that personal experience to it, and that's so valuable.
Exactly, exactly, yes.
Tell me what makes you unique in the way that you're helping people now in this career path.
I think I'd like to say that I'm unique because I know there are some coaches that just help with the healing, or help with the preparation. I want to help through the whole transition. I want to help them gain the knowledge before they hire the attorney. I want to walk with them through the journey of working with their attorney, and then ultimately that healing path. And I've just recently, I'm really excited about this portion of the healing. I'm certified to facilitate vision boards and power words, mini vision boards, and I just think that is such a really great step for anyone to take, really, but especially in my coaching, is to let a woman open up and dream big. Like, don't let those limitations hold you down. Um, and again, I think it's just, I've been there exactly. I was 50 years old, approaching divorce, together with my ex for 30 years. Yeah, it's have 3 children. It's an overwhelming, lonely journey. And I really put my heart and soul into it too when I'm talking to my clients.
Yeah, and I can feel that as you're talking right now for sure. Tell me, where you see the industry going in the next 5 to 10 years, because I think, I don't know when coaching, I know life coaching's been around a while, but
Mhm.
when divorce coaching actually became a thing. So where do you see it in the next 5 to 10 years?
I actually think that if we keep on this course of telling people about it and giving them logical reasons why they need coaches, divorce coaches specifically, we need to have this on the news. Like you said, you were in the, with it on a news program. That's what I would love to be on the local news. I got to figure out a way to do that. I really think it's going to become the norm. I think it's going to become the norm. I've spoken to a few attorneys who are on board with their clients seeking coaching because they don't want to deal with that emotional side. They want to, just the facts, Jack, is really like, give them the facts. And honestly, I don't expect the attorneys to charge less. I just want my clients to spend less time with them. And I think that if we can all just realize that the financial advisors have their niche, the attorneys, the realtors, the coaches. we all have our specialty, and we all have a place in the journey of someone going through a divorce. So I'm positive that um, the industry will just grow and become much more common.
And I can envision that with you. I think one of the big challenges that I always hear with women, especially women who are homemakers and not breadwinners,
Mhm.
is just managing all of the expenses of hiring the team. But
Yeah,
I think you would agree with this, Nanette, when they actually hire the appropriate team members to guide them on the process,
yeah,
they end up saving money
100%.
versus spending money with the wrong professionals.
Absolutely. I had one lady I spoke to, and she really wanted to work with me, but she said, "I don't think I have the luxury of hiring you." And that just hurt my heart because I thought, you don't have the luxury of not hiring me.
Yeah.
And
And
that's what they see, like you said, especially women. They see it as, oh my gosh, that's a huge expense, but in the scheme of it all, it isn't. It isn't.
right. And you may have heard me say this before. We when we're getting married and we're all goo eyes, we don't have any hesitancy to spend 15, 20, 30, $40,000 on a wedding. But come divorce, we go, you want how much for a retainer? Right?
So
Oh,
true. That's a really great analogy. I've not heard
yeah.
that. That's that
We
makes
have to put our head in a different space of thinking.
sense.
That's the case.
We
So
we do, we do.
I would love for you to share this with me if you don't mind being vulnerable with me. What is the biggest failure or challenge that you faced to this point in your life, whether it's professional or personal, and how has that shaped the way you're doing business now?
Well, I guess my biggest failure is to me divorcing, to not being able to fix it, when I probably had opportunities and just kept ignoring it, as both my ex and I did. But the biggest challenge for me, we're going to zoom right back, is to reaching my clients, the women who act, they so need my assistance or any divorce coach's assistance, and getting them past that hurdle of the fee that they think is just a huge addition. So yeah, I think that is like still the biggest challenge for me, and it's getting better. It's definitely getting better. But like anything that is worth doing, you're going to have your struggles, and you just got to keep on plugging. And I get up in the morning and go, we're going to just keep going. So, and it's 2025, so it's a new year, it's a new start, and um, same message, new year.
That's it. And I love the whole fresh start. We all get to, hit the reboot button. And I think that's wonderful.
Yes.
So tell me, in the coaching work that you do, are you restricted to just your state, or are you able to work with people across the US?
Yeah, I've worked with most people not in Michigan. A few, local clients. I'm trying to get local because that's really what I want to do. But no, I can work across states.
Okay, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
if somebody wanted to reach out to you and learn more about your work, how are the ways they can contact you?
Ultimately, the best way is to go to my website. It's livelifenowwithpurpose.com. Um, my email, my social media posts, or all handles are all there. You can fill out a contact form um, with simply your email and your name. I don't get into phone numbers and addresses, but and then I can, reach out, and we can set up a consultation call.
Awesome. Well, I know our audience will treasure the opportunity to learn from you. You just got to pick up the phone and call. So make that happen. Okay. So thank you for being here today. We
Thank
appreciate you.
you so much, Donna. It's been a pleasure. It's nice to see you again.
Thank you for tuning in to the Empowered Wealth Podcast. I hope today's conversation left you feeling inspired, informed, and ready to take the next step in your financial journey. Remember, building wealth isn't just about money, it's also about creating a life that aligns with your goals and values. If you found this episode valuable, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with the women in your life who deserve financial empowerment too. Until next time, stay confident, stay empowered, and keep building the life you desire.